So, let's rewind. 65 million years ago, Earth was absolutely thriving. Dinosaurs were the rulers of the world. They weren't just some animals stomping around. They were the main event. Giant sauropods walked around like moving skyscrapers. Raptors darted between trees like angry, oversized chickens. And the T-Rex? That guy was stomping around like he was king of the planet. Giant jaws, terrifying roar, and arms so tiny he probably couldn't even high-five himself. The Earth was warm, tropical, and full of life. Jungles were thick with ferns the size of living room couches. Giant bugs buzzed in the air, including dragonflies the size of seagulls. Honestly, if you showed up without bug spray, you'd regret it instantly. It was paradise, for dinosaurs anyway. No pollution, no people, no rush hour. Just eat, run, survive, and repeat. The food chain was in full swing, and everybody had a role. Triceratops grazed in peaceful herds, minding their own business. Ankylosaurs waddled around like armored tanks. And somewhere, a tiny feathered dino was trying to look tough, but sneezed and fell off a log. It was a good time to be a dinosaur. But while the dinosaurs were busy doing dino things, fighting, eating, sleeping, and occasionally awkwardly flirting with each other, something was happening far, far away. Like, really far. Deep in space, a rock was moving. And not just any rock. This was the rock, an asteroid about 6 miles wide. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the size of San Francisco. But instead of sourdough and bridges, it's made of solid doom. And it was moving fast, about 25,000 miles per hour. If it had a GPS, it would have said, "Next stop, total chaos." Now back on Earth, zero clue. Nobody knew. No one felt a disturbance in the force. There was no dramatic music swelling in the background. Just a nice day. The skies were blue, the trees were green, and the dinosaurs were completely unaware that their entire way of life was on a countdown. Let's set the scene. A stegosaurus is stretching its legs. A flock of flying reptiles glides over a lake. A group of hadrosaurs lounges in the sun like it's a prehistoric beach day. Everything seems fine, peaceful, maybe even a little boring. Meanwhile, that asteroid is getting closer, just a tiny, harmless-looking dot in the sky. If you stared at it, you'd probably think, that star looks funny. But it wasn't a star. It was a flaming freight train from space, and it wasn't coming for a visit. It was coming to end a chapter. And the best part? Nobody had a clue. No dino was packing a survival kit. No raptor was saying goodbye to its friends. Not even a single pterodactyl was checking the sky and going, "Hey, does that look normal to you?" It's weirdly hilarious in the darkest way possible. Imagine thinking it's just another Tuesday, but the sky is secretly planning to drop a rock on your entire species. That's what was happening. The dinosaurs went on with their day, grazing, roaring, running, and chasing things for fun or food. Somewhere, a baby Triceratops probably took its first wobbly step. Somewhere else, a T-Rex probably let out a huge sneeze and scared its own shadow. Everything felt ordinary, but in the background, the asteroid was closing in, quiet, fast, focused. And in just a little while, it would hit the Earth so hard that everything would change. The age of the dinosaurs was about to get its final chapter, and they didn't even see it coming. So, picture this. The asteroid is finally here. After who knows how long, zooming through space like the universe's most dramatic special effect, this 6-mile-wide chunk of destruction has Earth in its sights. No brakes, no hesitation. Just pure cosmic confidence. As it enters the atmosphere, things go from, what's that, to oh no in about 2 seconds. The air around it heats up instantly, like hotter than anything you've ever imagined. We're talking tens of thousands of degrees. If it had marshmallows, it could roast them in less than a blink. The asteroid's speed? Still around 25,000 miles per hour. That's faster than a bullet, faster than anything Earth has ever seen. It's basically a mountain with a grudge, and it's about to slap the planet. Then, boom, the impact site, what's now the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. But back then, it was just another patch of prehistoric paradise, peaceful, green, full of totally innocent creatures just living their lives. And in an instant, it's gone. The asteroid hits with the force of over 1 billion nuclear bombs. Not one, not a few, 1 billion. That's not an explosion, that's a planetary-level tantrum. The moment it hits, the ground doesn't just shake, it ripples. The shock wave travels through the Earth like it's trying to wake up the core. Mountains tremble, oceans jump, trees vaporized. Dinosaurs near ground zero don't even have time to say, uh-oh. They're just gone, and that's just the start. The impact creates a crater over 100 miles wide. That's like taking an entire city, blowing it up, then digging a hole deep enough to stack skyscrapers in. A literal dent in the Earth that's still there today. But wait, there's more. The force is so intense, it sends chunks of molten rock flying into space. Some of it even makes it all the way around the planet and rains back down like fiery confetti. Earth is now a giant, flaming snow globe. Only instead of snow, it's tiny bits of doom. The blast lights up everything for miles. A fireball expands out from the impact site, incinerating forests, dinosaurs, bugs, anything that had the misfortune of existing nearby. Winds whip out faster than hurricanes, flattening anything still standing. If the explosion didn't get you, the mega wind would. Nature turned into an overcooked microwave burrito, hot, messy, and definitely ruined. And the ocean? Oh, the ocean freaked out. Giant tsunamis formed instantly, waves taller than buildings crashing into coastlines like, surprise! You thought you were safe because you lived near water? Cute. Even animals nowhere near the impact site were in trouble. The pressure wave alone could rupture internal organs. Imagine being thousands of miles away and suddenly your ears pop, your lungs hurt, and the sky is glowing orange. Not a great day to be alive. And above all of this chaos, a towering mushroom cloud of vaporized rock and dust shoots into the sky. It rises so high it reaches the upper atmosphere, and it carries with it the next big problem: darkness. But we'll get to that. For now, Earth has been punched in the face by a space rock. It's on fire, it's flooding, it's windy. Everything's either screaming, running, flying, or already toast. The dinosaurs had ruled for over 150 million years, and in less than one afternoon, that rule was starting to unravel. One rock, one moment, and the whole world tilted. So Earth just got sucker punched by a giant flaming rock from space. The crater's still smoking, the sky's a mess, and everything within a few hundred miles has been obliterated like it owed the asteroid money. But the real fun? It's just beginning. The moment that space rock slammed into the planet, it didn't just break stuff, it set the world on fire. Literally. When the asteroid hit, it superheated rock and threw it high into the atmosphere, like confetti, but from the underworld. Then all those fiery chunks came raining back down across the globe. We're talking everywhere. Forests that weren't anywhere near the impact site, suddenly torches, whole continents, lit up like birthday cakes, except nobody was celebrating. Imagine you're a dinosaur on the other side of the planet. You're having a chill day, chewing on some leaves, maybe sunbathing near a pond. Life's good. And then the sky starts raining molten rock. Surprise! This wasn't some quick spark either. This was a worldwide firestorm. The heat from the falling debris raised surface temperatures so fast, it's like the entire planet got dropped in a toaster oven. Scientists think it might have gotten hot enough to cook everything on the surface. That's right, Earth turned into a giant broiler, and unfortunately, nobody had a timer. And if the heat didn't get you, the tsunamis might have. Yeah, remember the oceans? They didn't like the asteroid either. When it hit, it displaced so much water that it created megawaves taller than buildings. We're not talking your average surfing beach day. We're talking skyscraper-sized walls of water tearing across coastlines, sweeping up trees, rocks, dinosaurs, and probably a few very confused turtles. And it wasn't just one wave. There were many, hitting all over the world. The ocean basically said, if I'm going down, I'm taking everything with me. Oh, and volcanic activity? that cranked up too. All that pressure from the impact messed with the planet's tectonic plates, which then messed with volcanoes. So now, in addition to fire from the sky and floods from the sea, we've got lava fountains joining the party. Smoke, ash, sulfur, lava. It's like Mother Nature hit the endgame button on her disaster playlist. And while all this chaos is unfolding, the atmosphere is filling with debris. Dust, ash, and tiny particles are rising higher and higher, spreading across the globe. At first, it's just a thick haze. Then it becomes a full-on global blackout. Sunlight can't get through. It's like someone dimmed the entire planet. No light, no warmth, just a glowing orange sky followed by pitch-black clouds. And everything that depends on sunshine is suddenly in serious trouble. But we'll get to that in a bit. For now, Earth is unrecognizable. Fires are raging, skies are darkening, oceans are rampaging. It's like the entire planet had one really bad day and made sure everyone experienced it. The dinosaurs had faced predators, droughts, volcanoes, even awkward species interactions. But they had never faced this. A full-blown, no-holds-barred apocalypse. And it all started with one rock. So what do you do when your planet's on fire, the oceans are mad, and the sky's full of doom? If you're a dinosaur, you run, but it might already be too late. The fires were everywhere. The oceans had flooded the coasts. The ground was still shaking from the asteroid's arrival. But then, something even worse happened. The light went out. All that debris from the impact, dust, soot, ash, vaporized rock, it didn't just float around politely. It climbed up into the atmosphere, way up until it wrapped around the planet like a big dirty blanket. And this blanket, it blocked the sun, like completely. It didn't just get a little dim. It was full-on darkness, permanent cloud cover, a never-ending overcast day, but worse because it came with ash, toxic gases, acid rain, and the overall mood of a supervillain's lair. No sunlight meant no photosynthesis, and no photosynthesis meant plants started dying fast. Not a little wilted leaf here and there. Everything. Whole forests turned into skeletons. Grasslands vanished. Trees stopped growing. Fungi were basically the only ones having a good time. Now take away the plants and guess who's next in line? The herbivores, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Hadrosaurs, all the big, gentle leaf munchers suddenly had nothing to munch. It was like showing up to your favorite buffet and realizing someone burned the whole building down. And without herbivores, the predators had a problem too. T-Rex, starving, raptors, grumpy and confused. Even the tiny scavengers that used to clean up leftovers were suddenly out of a job. The entire food web collapsed like a badly built Jenga tower during an earthquake. And that wasn't even the end of it. With the sun gone, temperatures started to plummet. What was once a warm, tropical planet turned cold. Fast. Not like grab a hoodie cold. More like you're a lizard and now you're frozen solid cold. Dinosaurs were reptiles. Reptiles love warmth. Take that away, and suddenly you've got a lot of very stiff, very unhappy creatures lying in the dark, wondering why the planet betrayed them. Meanwhile, acid rain was falling from the sky. That's right. The same debris cloud that blocked out the sun also triggered chemical reactions that made rainfall acidic enough to damage plants, soil, and pretty much anything still trying to survive. Even if you found food, it might have been sizzling, not ideal. And the darkness dragged on. Days, weeks, maybe even months. Some scientists think it might have lasted years. Imagine years of twilight and freezing temperatures. Earth basically became a doomsday snow globe, but without the cheerful music. It wasn't just the dinosaurs that suffered. Entire ecosystems collapsed. Marine life, insects, birds, mammals, everything took a hit. The only ones that had a decent shot were the small, lucky, or underground ones. Tiny mammals, burrowing reptiles, things that could eat whatever was left. Roots, bugs, maybe each other if things got real desperate. And the dinosaurs? The giant ones? The loud, stompy ones that had ruled the Earth for over 150 million years? They didn't make it. They couldn't adapt fast enough. Their size, their diets, their need for warmth and light, It all worked against them. One day they were the rulers of the world, and the next they were struggling to find a snack in a freezing, smoky wasteland. All because the sky turned off. No asteroid debris removal crews, no planetary reset button, just silence, shadows, and the slow unraveling of everything that once roared, soared, or grazed. The world didn't just change, it reset, and the stage was being cleared for something new. So, the fires burned out. The skies stayed dark. The temperature dropped like the planet forgot to pay its heating bill. And just like that, the age of dinosaurs was over. Roughly 75% of all species on Earth vanished, gone, extinct, erased by one ridiculously aggressive space rock. The world that remained? Quiet, still, eerie. No more thunderous footsteps of sauropods. No more sky-splitting screeches from pterosaurs. No more T-Rex trying to look tough with arms that couldn't even reach its own face. Just ash, silence, and the occasional confused insect wondering where everyone went. But not everything died. That's the twist. See, while most of the giant creatures went down with the prehistoric ship, a few little survivors squeaked through the chaos. Literally squeaked, because many of them were tiny mammals. Imagine a furry little rodent, maybe the size of a potato, crawling out from underground like, Did we win? Yup, you did, little guy. These survivors were small, adaptable, and not picky about food. Some could burrow to escape the cold, others could eat insects, roots, or whatever wasn't burned, frozen, or poisoned. They didn't need sunlight to snack. They didn't need forests to roam. They were built for Plan B. Also in the winner's circle, some birds. Because guess what? Birds are technically dinosaurs. That's right. Your local pigeon is a distant cousin of the velociraptor. Just way less intimidating and way more into breadcrumbs. So with the old world wiped out, these humble survivors inherited the Earth. Slowly, over millions of years, the planet warmed back up. Plants regrew, ecosystems restarted. And these little mammals, they got bold, they got curious, and eventually, they got weird. Some evolved into whales, some became elephants, and one particularly strange branch started walking on two legs, figuring out tools and building stuff. Fast forward a few dozen million years, and boom, humans, United States. The asteroid didn't just end the dinosaurs, it cleared the path for us to exist. It's weird to think about, but without that one rock, there'd be no cities, no coffee, no memes, just lots of roaring and running. So yeah, one rock, one moment, 6 miles wide, and it changed everything. What's wild is that Earth didn't even flinch. The planet itself, still here, still spinning. It's had worse days, honestly. The asteroid was just one chaotic chapter in a book full of earthquakes, ice ages, and weird fish with legs. But that moment, 65 million years ago, was the ultimate plot twist, the dramatic finale for the dinosaurs, and the surprising opening act for us. So next time you're walking down the street, scrolling on your phone, or staring at a bird on a power line, just remember, you're here, reading this, breathing air, and enjoying snacks. Because a giant rock said, "All right, dinosaurs, your turn's up." One rock didn't just wipe out most life on Earth. It made room for the rest of the story. And lucky for us, that story's still being written.